Hello everyone, my name is Salar and you are learning JavaScript on Smart Code. This is our tutorial number 33 and we are learning object data type. In the previous tutorial, I described the term object. So now you know what object really is, right? So let's now go ahead and learn how objects are implemented in JavaScript and how do we create object type data type. And you already know this topic is important because JavaScript is based on objects. So once you have better understanding of objects, you will automatically start creating the other objects confidently. Right? So without any further ado, let's check out how objects are implemented in JavaScript. So the JavaScript is designed on a simple object-based paradigm. What you see on the screen is a diagram that we usually use to describe that paradigm. Now focus on the second level. At the second level, you see the data types, and you are familiar with some of them, like string, number, and boolean. And the other one, date, array, and function, we will be covering in the future. Now, what makes this paradigm interesting is that all the data types are directly derived from an object at the top level. So the JavaScript is designed that way. At the top level, there is a default object, and all the other data types are directly derived from that object. And that means the data types on the second level are also objects, right? So now it has started making sense when I said in JavaScript, almost everything is an object. Now recall the description of the object from the previous tutorial. When we defined an object, we said an object has properties and functions. Now pick, for example, the string data type or the string object. So the string data type, which is an object, has a property which is called length. And we have used that property several times in our previous tutorials. And in addition to that property, a string object has so many functions, such as to uppercase, to lowercase, substr, split, slice, and so on. Right? So this is the simple evidence to show you that the string data type is actually an object. It has property and functions, but not necessarily all the objects, either the inbuilt objects or the user-defined objects, must have both the properties and the functions. You can create objects containing only the properties or containing only the functions. Right? So I hope now you have better understanding of objects in JavaScript, and you will get more understanding of objects when we will start learning the document object and the Windows object in the future. Let's now move further and learn what does it mean by creating our own object and how do we create an object type data type. Now creating an object simply means we create a variable from the top level object type, and that variable which is created directly from the object type becomes automatically an object variable, and it can then hold properties and functions. Now JavaScript provides two different ways to create object type variables. You can use the new keyword or the literal values. And not only the object type data type, but also you can use these two ways to create variables of other types like number, string, arrays, and boolean. Literal values is the preferred way to create different types of variables. And we have also been practicing creating variables using literal values. For example, let's say I want to create a number type variable using literal values. So I will first write let and then the name of the variable and then assign a value to it, right? So you're familiar with that. And the same variable can also be created using the new keyword. And the syntax gonna be like, right? So both are exactly the same. We are creating number type variables using the new keyword or the literal values. But you can clearly see the literal values is simpler than the new keyword. And that's why the literal values is used almost all the time. It's a favorite choice to all the developers, right? So using the new keyword, you can also create variables of a string type or the boolean type. Let me show you an example. So here's the example of the creation of the string and the boolean type variables using the new keyword. And here is the literal values method, which is simpler and more practical. But it is important to understand how new keyword works. Right, so let's now learn how to create object type variables. And I will show you both the ways, the new keyword and the literal values. But we are going to prefer literal values in our future tutorial, not the new keyword, right? Let's now create an object named person using the new keyword. Right, so now we have created an object variable named person, and here you see this variable is directly derived from the object type. And once you have object variable ready, you can define its properties. Let's say the person object has two properties, the name and the age. So we can define the properties of the object like, right, so using the period operator, we attach the properties to the object. So now our person object has two properties, name and age. If you are at this moment thinking about how do we use these properties values, how do we add, remove and manipulate these values, then I would suggest wait and have patience. We will cover everything that you need to know in our coming tutorials. Right now we are learning and focusing on the object creation process. Right, so the same person object variable can also be created using the literal values. Let's now see the creation of an object using the literal values. Right, so the literal values simplify the creation of an object and improve readability. We put all the properties inside the curly braces. We write a property name to the left, followed by a colon and followed by values. And then we need to separate each property by putting a comma. But the comma is not needed to the last property, right? And notice one more thing, the properties can be of different types. For example, the name is the string type and the age is the number type. So there is no data type restriction. I can put another type, let's say a boolean type. Right, so now our object consists of three different properties of three different types, string, number and boolean. And so now you can easily compare the creation of the object using the new keyword and the literal values. In your programming practice, you are allowed to use either of them. However, the literal value notation is a good choice because it improves code readability and encapsulates all the related properties inside the curly braces, right? I will use literal value notation in my future tutorials, but you are free to use either of them. The choice is yours. Now, before we wrap up this tutorial, I want to teach you two more things. Number one is how to create an empty object. An empty object doesn't contain any property or function. In programming, there are some occasions where you need to create an empty object, and then you fill the object with properties or the functions later on based on some conditions, right? So an empty object can easily be created using the literal value notation. Let's say we want to create an empty car object. So we will code like, right? And you can verify its type using the type of operator. Let's check it out. Now, before we check the result in the browser, we need to comment out an object because we are not allowed to create two objects with the same name, right? And now in the browser, see the type of our car variable is object, right? So that was an empty object creation using the literal value notation. But you can also create an empty object using the new keyword. Let me show you the example. Right, so both the lines are same. We are creating an empty car object, but there is a slight difference between creating an empty object using the new keyword and the literal value notation. When we create an object using the new keyword, we need to call a special function, and that function is not called when we use literal value notation. But it doesn't make any difference to call a function or not to call a function. And that function, like I said, is a special function and it is called a constructor, and you don't need to bother yourself about this function at this stage. You will learn constructors in connection with the object-oriented programming, right? So that was the first thing, how to create an empty object, right? Now the second thing that I want to teach you is that how to read out or access object's properties. Let's say I want to read out the properties name and age. So first we are going to write the name of the object we are interested, and our object name is person. And just after the object name, you will code a period operator, and then you will select the property you want to read. For example, the name. And if you want to read the age, so you will do the same. You will write the name of the object, period, and here you will select the property you want to read. That's it. And once again, we need to comment out one car object because two objects with the same name is not allowed, right? So let's now check the result in the browser. And so here you see the properties value. The name is Peter and the age is 30, right? And so now it's time to wrap up this tutorial. In this tutorial, you learn how the objects are implemented in the JavaScript and how do we create objects with properties using the new keyword and the literal value notation. And you also learn how to access or read out the properties of the object, right? Our next tutorial is the continuation of this topic, and you will learn how to define a complete object that contains properties as well as functions, right? And I will also spark some light on the usage of the objects in the JavaScript. So I will see you in the tutorial number 34. Stay tuned and thanks for watching.